Tatooine was the ancient world that had given many famous individuals to the galaxy. However, it was also property of the infamous Hutt cartel, and after the Clone Wars, the events that would occur here would shape the galaxy for lifetimes to come. But what happened on Tatooine after the Clone Wars? During the Clone Wars, Jabba, the leader of Tatooine and the Hutt cartel, had signed a treaty with the Republic, ensuring that they could live very comfortably. However, things would change very quickly for this backwater world. Firstly, a few years into the proclamation of the New Order came the Great Drought. During this time, water sources dried out and prices hit an all-time high for the desert world. Jabba and his thugs, wanting to capitalise on this, introduced a water tax, where water would be stolen and pillaged from moisture farms, often by force. Interestingly enough, an 8-year-old Luke Skywalker would attempt to fight off the thugs, but ended up being knocked out after a brief scuffle, where Obi-Wan would save the young boy. Not only this, but it was also the final resting place of Darth Maul, the infamous Sith Lord, who was there to try to enact revenge against Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the final Jedi Knights in hiding. During the Clone Wars, the Hutts were independent. However, the new Empire wasn't happy having a sliver of the galaxy controlled by the criminal underworld, and therefore began pushing the Hutts more and more, shutting down their criminal networks. However, after the destruction of the first Death Star, the Empire needed the Hutts, wanting more armaments for the war to come. For this reason, Darth Vader was personally sent to meet Jabba at his palace to negotiate the terms. They were relatively simple. The Empire would allow the Hutts to continue to exist, and the Empire would also crack down on crime and wipe out all of the Hutts' competition. More or less, it gives them a monopoly on all organised crime. Also, whilst here, Vader wiped out an entire village of Tusken Raiders and hired 2 of Jabba's finest bounty hunters, Black Chrysanthemum to track down a missing Imperial agent, and Boba Fett, who was tasked with finding and identifying the pilot who had destroyed the Death Star. Vader also demanded to know everything that Jabba knew of old Ben Kenobi, which Jabba could only describe him as being a thorn in his side. Following Jabba's death, Tatooine was largely freed from the Hutt's influence. They'd lost their greatest leader, and without him, they struggled to maintain power, and without the Empire shutting down their competitors, new enemies emerged every day. Many new crime syndicates set up mining companies on the world as fronts for their illegal operations to fill Jabba's seat as the crime kingpin. However, a mysterious lawman named Cobb Vanth, donning a set of Mandalorian armour that had been salvaged from a sandcrawler, began to fight the criminals and bring order to the lawless regions. This man dedicated his life to protecting Freetown from a set of raiders, and even managed to strike a deal with the Tusken Raiders, where they would protect the town in exchange for water and him proving himself as one of their own by retrieving a pearl from the stomach of a crate dragon. Ultimately, Tatooine became even more under the thumb of the ruthless crime lord following the rise of the Empire, as the Hutts struggled to maintain their power as well as keep up the peace with the Imperials. But what do you think of the events that happened on Tatooine? Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If so, please remember to like and sub, as it's really appreciated and does help the channel grow. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @TheLawGuy for regular updates. Thanks for watching, I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.